If you own a Toyota Vanguard or you're planning to buy one, you should definitely watch this video. There's a post that was on Facebook about the Toyota Vanguard. It's pretty much gone viral at this point. I'll put it up on the screen. So I wanted to go over just a couple of things that were mentioned in this post. There's a lot of things that people are saying in the comment section, but here are my thoughts on just how you can better take care of your Vanguard, because some of the things that were said were true. And I think I'll just start from the first point that was made, which is that the Vanguard has very bad suspension. That one I don't think is very true. This is a mid-size SUV, so basically the suspension is designed to be, balanced in terms of being good for a bit of off-roading, but also driver comfort when you are driving on road. So the unfortunate thing is, when people buy these, they think that it can run like, 4x4, something like a Fortuner or even upmarket Land Cruisers and stuff like that. But no, this suspension is built to be right in between those. So if you decide to daily this thing off-road, you definitely have problems with the suspension. That's your shock absorbers going out, bushings and all that kind of stuff. If you decide to daily it off-road, definitely you're going to have issues. But otherwise, if you keep it on road and also you're driving off-road, it's just like light gravel stuff like that, you will not really have problems with the suspension on this car. So as far as this thing having bad suspension, I don't think that's true. Even when you check consumer reports and stuff like that, quick searches on Google and stuff, you don't really hear people complaining about the suspension. It's fairly affordable to replace the shocks and stuff. It's not, out of this world. So the suspension on this is pretty much okay. The rest of the stuff is under the hood. So let's get under the hood. So now that I have the hood open for you guys, we can now look at what the problems are with the 2AZ engine, because that's the second thing that was mentioned here. So this is the 2AZ engine. This is a 2.4 liter naturally aspirated petrol engine by Toyota. And the first thing that was said was, after 50,000 miles, this thing starts to chew oil. And that is very true. So if you have a Vanguard and it's, gone past 50,000, most of these I think land around that, like 60,000, you get maybe 79,000 miles on it. It definitely starts to chew a lot of a lot of engine oil, and that's because of the weak design of the piston rings on this engine. So you have to keep a regular check on your engine oil. So preferably maybe after 2 to 3 weeks, you just give it a check, and it's not going to really burn as much as to destroy the whole thing. If you just keep a regular check on it, top up the oil, then the oil should be okay. But that's definitely something that you need to look out for when you purchase one of these. And it's not just in the Toyota Vanguard. These are found in the Alphard, and even smaller cars like the Blade also has the 2AZ engine. Same thing, they all chew oil, and you just have to keep track of how your engine oil is doing in your car. You can't just start these things and run them and think that you can ignore it for 3-4 months and everything will be okay. Definitely, if the oil runs down, you get catastrophic engine failure. That's your bearings going out, and then eventually have to just replace the whole engine. Third thing that was mentioned was the head bolts. So the head bolts are basically what keeps the head and the block at the bottom squished together. And once those 3 head bolts at the back become loose, it's actually a leak of pressure from the cylinders into the cooling system because of a failure in the head gasket, eventually causing the system to start overheating, and then catastrophic engine failure follows after that. So that also I've seen is true, but not really common on the Vanguards. Mostly the 2AZs that are found in the Alphard, it's pretty much the same engine, but I think because the Alphard is actually much heavier than the Vanguard, it does a lot more work in there. You tend to find that Alphards come in with failed head gaskets because of that, more than you get on the Vanguard. So unless you guys can let me know in the comments below, but as far as I've seen and a bit of the research that I've done, I've not seen many people bring a Vanguard in for that kind of work. But even here at Tunex Automotive, we had an Alphard come in with the head gasket failure situation. We had to put a new engine in it. So That's also just another thing that you need to look out for. Okay, so the third item that was mentioned was the valve cover gasket that starts to leak. So the valve cover gasket, sits right here, and it's actually common that when cars reach about 50,000 miles, you should be, ready to change the valve cover gasket, and that's because it's a rubber piece that after different heat cycles, it tends to fail on different cars. Yes, there are cars that go hundreds of thousands of miles without changing the valve cover gasket, but I don't feel like that's really a point on these engines specifically. There are a number of engines that actually who have a valve cover gasket fail, and that just also depends on how you maintain the cooling system. If your car goes through cycles of overheating and stuff like that, it will definitely cause premature wear on that. Basically, what you can do to just ensure that, one, you check your oil all the time, and also for the head bolt issue, just don't put the engine under stress. You go out and you buy yourself a Toyota Vanguard, and you're using it for your nice daily drives to the office, you're visiting people, that's fine, your car will just be okay. But the moment that you start to overload this thing because you think you have an SUV, you start to pack more people than you're supposed to pack, you start to put cement bags, you start to do frequent trips to your house that you're building, that's off-road in some deep area that's not got a well-developed road, then you definitely have issues with your Toyota Vanguard. But other than that, these cars are pretty much okay if you just use them for the use that they were designed for. Those are basically my thoughts. A lot of people sent me the link to what this guy was saying, so I just wanted to let you guys know what I think about the Toyota Vanguard. Definitely a great car, but like I've been doing my reviews on my TikTok, you guys can check those out. They're definitely the next option that I think I would give you if you wanted to get something other than the Vanguard, is the Mazda CX-5. That car is definitely actually more reliable than this. It's got a lot more features and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, Zambia drives Toyota, so I know you guys are still going to go out and get this. But if you can consider a CX-5 over this, then yeah, that will also work out for you. But the Vanguard, pretty good car, and yeah, those are just my thoughts on that post.